Well, good morning. How are ya? I missed you over the weekend. How are you guys as you get your notices? We appreciate it. Good morning. How are ya? Okay, let's do a little roll call and say hello to a few folks here. And Mike from Norland, you're number one on the hit parade. Nick from our staff, number two. Kevin, Oshawa. And Jen from Cape Breton. Carrie, good morning, Nebraska. Donna, good morning. Mary Jane, Connecticut. John, Elgin, Illinois. Good morning. Regina, Georgie, Halifax. And Jeanette, bonjour from our staff. Sandy, Chilliwack, British Columbia. Beamsville, Janet, Mary, blessings to you. Kathy and Grace, good morning. Linda, sunny Pennsylvania. Newfoundland, Catherine. Rita, good morning. And Frida, good morning. Much appreciated. Mary, Norwich. Micheline, good morning. Cease. And Wendy, London, Ontario. Wanda, Virginia. Yolande, bonjour. Adeline. And Karen, near Coldwater. John, Sheridan, Wyoming. Well, good morning, Diane. Two from North Bayonet. And Nellie. Okay, a couple of more. Jean. We appreciate you guys. Millika. Luella, Tennessee. And Linda. I love Linda's. Wendy, Markham, Bernice. Carol. Mara. And Veronica. Suzanne, good morning. Okay, here we go. 2 Suzannes in a row. 3 Suzanne. 3 in a row, guys. Laurie, Cambridge. Sharon from Chile, Michigan. And Dawn. Oh, I want to sing. Sandy, Washington State. Doreen, Newfoundland. Heather, Miramachi. Karen, Indiana. Guys, we love you guys. Margie. Okay, let's get going. Serpa, I'm ending with you. Good morning. How are you? Okay. Guys, there were some studies that came out this weekend, and I'm super excited to share them with you. Super excited. Okay? Now, we've been doing a whole thing on the brain, and if you're not getting our emails, we put a lot of information on those emails, okay? And so if you're not getting those emails, make sure you sign up for our emails at martinclinic.com. Okay, this program is sponsored by martinclinic.com, okay? Our podcast. Now, we've been talking about brain health, but let me just give you a study. Then I'm going to get into a couple of others that go along with this. Now, listen to what this one says, okay? Now, cognitive decline can be the result of not enough protein. Okay? Cognitive decline can be a result of not enough protein in the diet. Okay. Now, guys, you have to admit one thing. If you have been with me at all over the last several years, I am as consistent as the day is long. What do I tell you all the time? Protein is king. It's the king of the castle. And carbs are the dirty rascals, right? You hear me say that all the time. Protein, 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 protein. Now, your brain needs protein. Cognitive decline. If you want to sink your brain, then live on carbohydrates. Remember, your brain is an energy factory. It's small. We got small brains compared to the rest of our bodies, right? If you see a baby, okay, and get a baby to put their hands over their head is quite large compared to the rest of their body. Well, that's how they develop, right? It's how they develop. And it starts with a big brain, but by the time we grow up a little bit, our head is, pretty small compared to the rest of our bodies, and our brain is about 2%. But it takes up 25% of everything you eat. It is what? The federal government. It taxes you. And so, people who insist on eating carbs and living on carbs, your brain will take that as fuel. It'll take it because it takes 25%. It needs it to run headquarters. But you don't need glucose. Okay? I'm not saying you don't need any. But if your brain needs glucose when you eat a piece of steak, this is science, guys. Your body will turn steak into a little bit of sugar for needed brain cells. You don't need much. You don't have to eat any sugar because your body will take care of it. But what they're saying in this study is your brain needs protein. Now, it got even more specific. It did. It needs animal protein. Oh. I thought animal protein wasn't good for you. I thought animal protein and fat was bad for you. No, just the opposite. Now this wouldn't be any news to you, is it? It's not news for you because we've been telling you this consistently for as long as I have been in practice. And when I had my radio show, I preached it from the rooftops. Protein is king. Carbs, not so much. Okay? They're not even in the royal family. Protein is king, and fat is queen, and carbs are the peasants. Guys, I mean it. Your brain declines without protein. And this, guys, was a study looking at several different studies. Protein is king. And when you look at what I preach all the time, eggs, meat, and cheese, and I mean it, that's protein and fat and literally almost zero carbs. The food pyramid, guys, is wrong. It's wrong. The food pyramid ought to be eggs, meat, and cheese. And I mean it. Okay? Now, let me bring you a couple of other studies that go along with what I'm talking about here. Okay? And this came out, I saw it on the weekend, but It looked at years of research on red meat at the University of Washington Institute for Health Metrics. Okay? The University of Washington Institute for Health Metrics, looking at a broad spectrum of studies on red meat. Here is their conclusion. Okay? Red meat, listen, Linda, red meat is not a health risk. Yeah. Red meat is not a health risk. I talked to someone the other day. They didn't know who I was, but they happened to be pontificating on what they eat. Okay? And they didn't know me, and we were just having a casual chat, and they said, well, I stay, I have a little bit of red meat, but I don't have very much, and I stay away from butter, and I don't have any cheese, and I live on, a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables, and they're looking at me, and my eyes are glazed over. I'm not gonna, look, they don't know me, so they didn't ask for my opinion. So I remained silent. I looked at them like, okay. I feel sorry for people because they've been taught bad. Now, let me say something else, because this comes up all the time in our private Facebook group. Okay? Speaking of red meat, bacon. Okay? Dr. Martin, there's nitrates in red meat. There's in bacon and deli meat. Yeah, so where do you think those nitrates come from? It's not the bacon that has them. They add them. What is it from? What do they use? I'm waiting. Celery powder. Yeah, they put it on the meat. It helps to preserve the meat. It's celery powder. Because celery has a lot of nitrates. Did you know that? People come to me, Dr. Martin, the nitrates, they're going to kill you. They're going to kill you. I said, you mean celery will kill you? Celery? What? Well, that's how the powder is made. It's the salts, nitrates, from a powdery celery. That's got to be bad for you. No, it's not bad for you. Who told you that? I challenge that, my friend. But you see, when the world out there sort of has, when they want to vilify something, when they want to go after red meat, people, because they don't know enough about nutrition to challenge that teaching. I go, man, like bacon. You're better off having bacon in the morning than having cereal in the morning. Bacon is full of protein and saturated, hear it? Saturated. It's saturated fat. Well, Doc, that can't be good for you. That must be clogging up your arteries. No, it doesn't. Saturated fat don't clog up your arteries. Now, fat can clog up your arteries when you're eating sugar. And you're clogging up your liver. And your liver will empty some of that fat as triglycerides, and that will clog up your arteries. They got it wrong. But you know me, I'm not even optimistic that I'm going to be able to change their minds. I'm not optimistic about it, but I want to get you guys to think. God gave you a brain. Think. Think. Because what you've been told ain't true. It's not true. And when you get older, especially because the original study I brought to you, that cognitive decline is a big issue when you're not eating enough protein. And I don't care how much salad or spinach that you eat. That, my friend, will not help your brain from cognitive decline. Now, I'm not saying you can never eat a salad, okay? Don't come after me for saying that, because I'm not saying it. But you know my expression, you're not a rabbit. You're just not. God gave you these kind of teeth to eat meat. And when the world, when science, so-called, is honest about the studies, okay? Let me give you another one because it follows up with this. This is another study, and guys, I'm talking about when the University of Washington Institute for Health Metrics did this study on red meat. It looked at years of studies. Guys, the gold standard of studies, the gold standard is when you do an overview of all the studies, or a lot of studies, and you look at it, and you see how they came to their conclusions. And when the University of Washington did that, they said, red meat isn't bad, like they said it was. They were cherry-picking studies to get to their conclusions. Now, here's another one. Okay? 14 studies. The hypothesis on red meat was red meat. And I've talked to you a lot about this over the years. Red meat is always vilified when it comes to colorectal cancer, which is exploding today. Colorectal cancer is one of the fastest growing cancers in terms of numbers in North America today. Colorectal cancer. Folks, listen to what I'm going to say. Okay? What rots your teeth? Ask any dentist. Ask any dentist on day one of dental school. They don't even have to go to dental school to learn this. Sugar. Right? Yeah, it destroys your teeth. Everybody knows that. Isn't it amazing how they forget that? What destroys your gut, including your stomach? I'm listening, Linda. Sugar. 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 It destroys your teeth. And it will destroy your gut, including your upper GI, your stomach, including the small intestine when we talk about SIFO, small intestine fungal overgrowth. And for those in medicine, they call it SIBO, small intestine bacterial overgrowth. My friend, let me say this, bacteria, bad guys. Not all bacteria is bad. And fungus, bad guys. Yeast needs to be fed, and you do not feed yeast or bad bacteria with red meat. You feed it with sugar and any crappy carb that turns to sugar rapidly. So when they looked at the studies of colorectal cancer, which is quadrupling, I mean, guys, it's like out of control, especially in young people. Why? Oh, we're eating too much red meat. No. You know that meat consumption is down 35%. Because of the crazies. Because of the indoctrination. It's not science. It's religion, my friend, that's teaching kids. Don't eat meat. Anything with eyeballs is bad for you. Except crickets. Oh! I give my head a shake. So when they did a comprehensive analysis of colorectal cancer, they had to admit, you know what? It's not red meat. Now, I'm telling you, that ought to turn medicine on its head. Guys, these studies are incredible. But you're going to hear very, very, very little about it. Why is that? Because it does not fit the narrative. It doesn't fit the narrative. I feel sorry for people. They don't know what to eat. Writing in my new book, I said, it's harder for people to figure out how to eat than it is to fill out their taxes. Like they just don't know what to eat. So they go, well, it must be true. Red meat is bad. Must be true because they keep saying it. I'm telling you, my friend, if you won't do it, but when they are honest and they do studies that are review studies of all the studies and they come to the same conclusions, you know what? I don't know where you get this red meat's bad for you when it comes to colorectal cancer. When it comes to cognitive decline, guys and gals, why? I always ask the question, why? If we're seeing that much more cancer today, colorectal, if it's up and up and up and up and up and up, and consumption of red meat is down, 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 well, that don't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So here's me screaming from the rooftops. John the Baptist. Hello out there. Hello. Who told you? And who told you bacon was no good for you? Not me. Bacon is good for you. There's nothing bad in bacon. Nothing. Nitrates? Nah. It's celery powder. By the way, I like celery. Okay, I do. Okay? I like it. Guys, honestly, isn't that incredible when you think about it? Okay? So, cognitive decline. You and I agree on this. We want to protect our brain as we age. Don't we all agree on that? Don't we all agree on that? Well, one thing you can do is what you put in your mouth every day. That's what you can control. You can't control everything, but you can control what you put in your mouth every day. And if you want to eat health food for your brain, then you need protein. You need fat. And you need very little carbohydrate. Okay? Very little. And when people do the reset, and they take 30 days of their life to change fuels, my friend, that is the best thing you can do for yourself. 30 days, a program that tens of thousands and more patients have taken. They changed their life with it. It's a 30-day program to up your protein for your brain, up your fat for your brain, to eat the way you were intended to eat. And look, I'm not saying you got to be on the reset the rest of your life. I'm not saying that. It's a 30-day program. I know people that have been on it for years. They just feel better, and they are so overwhelmed by their change in their life that, hey, doc, yeah, I get it. I get it. It's so good for you. And you're changing fuels. And we'll get into it this week. We're going to talk about an email that we put out last week on the causes of dementia and Alzheimer's and how to protect our brain. We can't talk enough about that, but one thing is protein, man. You know, this study, a cognitive decline is people who have bought the lie. And you know, seniors, I feel sorry for them. Okay? I'm a senior. But I feel sorry for people who are on limited budgets and have been lied to about food. And they live on cereal. And they live on, you know, a few fruits. And, you know, drinking orange juice. And, you know, I feel sorry for people because they've been lied to. Boy, I hate that when someone lies to me. You can disagree with me. And I'll respect you. I mean that. I was talking to another guy the other day. And we disagreed. I still respected what he said. I respect it. I'm right and you're wrong. No, I said, but I listened. Yeah, I don't think you're right about that. I don't think you're right about protein. But I respect your opinion. I do. And some people, they just can't, they got no respect for hearing the other side. I know you guys do. I know my audience does. Folks, as I end today, the truth shall set you free. The truth about nutrition will set you free. It really will. It's science. You know, a lot of times they use the word science to end all debate. You're going against the science. It's not really science. I'm going against the propaganda. There's a big difference. It's not science. And when you review these studies, and they do an honest review, and then they go, you know what? I don't know how they came to those conclusions. That's what these comprehensive studies have said about red meat, guys. It ain't true. It don't rot your gut. Sugar rots your gut. Just like it rots your teeth, though. And you better get enough protein as you get older. And you want to protect that brain. The fuel of choice for your brain is protein in fat. I always say that because I don't separate protein and fat. I know there are three macros, right? Protein, fat, and carb. But I don't separate protein and fat because the way to eat protein is to combine it with fat. Think about it. Think what nature, think of what God has given us. Cheese, what is that? Protein and fat? Yep. Eggs, what is that? Protein and fat? Yep. Meat, what is that? Protein and fat? Yeah, you got it right. That's 100%. You passed. You're at the top of the class. Protein and fat in nature. That's what you're supposed to eat. Okay. Guys, we got a great week coming. Okay? Promise. Promise. Okay. Send in your questions for Friday. I think there was a couple of questions. Maybe I'll look at them. I didn't get to all of them on Friday, but I will try and get to the rest of them. Okay? Guys, have I told you, by the way, on our Facebook page, we're over 70,000 likes. That's incredible, guys. Millions of views, 70,000 likes. That's on Facebook. We're over 1 million downloads. In August, we hit over 1 million downloads for the Doctors In podcast. Guys, I got to tell you something. That's you. And that's you sharing. You know what? You're going to hear the other side. So this is a good thing to share. Okay? It's a good one to share, guys. Okay. Love you. Talk to you soon.